Turn up the bass.
You're now listening. Yo, Tap In Radio.
With one tap, you're in. Only on Tap In Radio.
Tea with MiraB, hot, the hottest tea. Tea with MiraB, hot, the hottest tea. Okay.
What's up, you guys? We're back. Thank you for coming back. You tuned in with your girl MiraB on Tea with MiraB. Right now, I have a special guest in the building with me. Hey, Selah Marley is in the building, you guys. If you guys have been keeping up, you know that I've interviewed Selah 3 years ago. Long time ago, right? So much has changed since then. First, congratulations on your natural hair journey, sis. Because I see, last time you had your hair, it was cut.
Yeah.
And it wasn't straightened, right?
Yeah, that was actually right before I guess, did my big chop.
How was that? Like, what made you want to go natural?
It was kind of just on a whim. I mean, I never really permed my hair. And so really I permed my hair. And that was like kind of a rebellious thing because my parents never allowed me to do it. So I permed my hair. Like I did a little cute Rihanna cut. I don't know what I'm calling it. The
Definitely
cut,
Rihanna.
Yeah,
no,
I mean, the Rihanna cut, yeah. So I did that. That was cute. And then the perm grew out and it just wasn't looking good anymore. So I was like, all right, I guess the last thing for me to do is cut it because I don't have any hair left. So...
But still, it looks great, though. Is it hard to manage? They say natural hair is like a sport, taking care of it.
I mean, it's not weave. You can't just, But it depends on what you want from it as well, because some people let it freeform. Right. So there's that, too. But if you want to, comb it, detangle it, I'd say it takes, an hour and a half. It's not that bad, okay? It's not that bad. It's worth it.
Arms just a little bit. It does. Right?
No, it does get your arms, though. It does get your arms.
Unfortunately, we're going through this big old pandemic at the time, so it's only right if I ask you, what are some ways that you stayed grounded throughout the quarantine?
Throughout the quarantine?
Because we've been on quarantine since March.
Right? It's been 3 months.
Right.
I mean, overall, right when the quarantine started, I just had a life-changing experience, deeply, deeply life-changing. So, past 3 months, I feel like I transformed, honestly. So, I'm trying to think, I don't know, just being trapped in the house with everyone, and,
I was going to ask that, too.
You know what I mean? But then also, in the same sense, I was, taking my car and going on drives, It was such a long time. I guess just going on drives, I feel just being ironically, LOL, being around people. Mm-hmm. LOL, social distancing. But no, still being around people, honestly. And just keeping love around me.
Absolutely.
I think a lot of my relationships strengthened, Also, the protests started happening at that time. Mm-hmm. So... I mean, honestly, the quarantine, quote unquote, is is not even fully over. We're still here. Mm-hmm. So, I guess this is another way I'm keeping myself grounded. Now,
I know you wanted to start music before we talked about it in our last interview. Did you ever get to begin that? I see you have a single out with, I actually wrote his name down, Kid Smoko. It was called Like Me Now. So, did you get to branch into that?
Yeah, I still well, you know what? Yeah, actually. I feel like I'm actually now at the point where I'm ready to really start taking it seriously. Mm-hmm. I feel like I spent the last 4 years just kind of creating, exploring it personally, privately, and getting to that point, a good point. And so now I'm kind of ready to, actually boost. So, this year I'm pretty proud of myself because I actually dropped 3 songs already. Which is
check
on
you
my
out.
SoundCloud. On my SoundCloud, because for me, I don't know, integrity is so huge. Mm-hmm. It's everything. So I have to do it my way and go from there. Not fully my way, I'll say, but just in a way that's true to me and go from there. So, yeah.
I'm pretty sure you make sure that your music speaks for yourself rather than, because people are so quick to jump and compare you maybe to your mom. Do you ever just ask for tips, or is this all about Selah?
I mean, no, like, yeah. I mean, yeah. Like, people are always going to compare you to my mom. And the rest of my family, you know. But
Absolutely.
my mom's actually intricately linked in my music, actually. Like, my mom's made we made music before, pretty much. Like, you know, she, like, pays for my vocal lessons.
That's
like,
nice.
You know what I mean? She, like, pays for it. You know, she supports it, you know? She supports it. So, if anything, yeah, that's, like, my foundation.
I would think that she would, like, do the vocal coaching on her own, no?
Well, not really. I mean, it's kind of like, okay, yeah. Not really, just because she doesn't have time all the time, you know? Mm-hmm. So, there's that. And that's just the part of, like, being a working mom, also. So, but still, like, we talk about it. And, like, she gives me tips and stuff. And, like, we'll make music together. But, like, when it comes to, like, the day-to-day, like, me going back every week, yeah, no. Like,
how did your collaboration come about?
Me and my mom? I mean, I think this one song. Well, a few times, you know, just like growing up, she'd help me write music. Okay. And like I've been like taking vocal lessons since I was 14. So she's been supporting it for a long time. And also just like, I don't know, I guess as her child, she just supports me. So there's always been like a sense of like her helping me. Right. You know, like me sending her this, Mom, can you help me? Right. Mom, do you know anyone who, Mom, can you know? So same with my dad, honestly, too. Like, same thing. There's always that sense of like, and honestly, I feel like I'm really blessed to have that. Like, I definitely feel like I'm very, very blessed to have parents that can support me and like support my dreams. And know a little
about the industry as well.
Yeah, right. And like support my dreams and have connections also and just be able to help, you know? Because, you know, it's so funny. I was looking up this thing just yesterday called the Black Tax. And that's pretty much like, not just Black people, but also just minorities, like people, lower income, people who end up having to support their parents, you know? And that was my mom. And like, also, I guess that's me sometimes, because I do work, like I still, you know, but like, I guess that's me sometimes. But in the same sense, I'm very blessed to not like, it's different, you know? Like,
that's what's up. That's what's up, Selah. So last time when we spoke, you were at the moment trying to find what you wanted to do. But then I seen that you got into modeling and you got into Ivy Park, and then I seen you do some Yeezy runway shows. So what are you doing now? What is Selah up to?
So since we last spoke, it's funny because I was actually thinking about it because I wanted to like compile it. I wanted to compile it. I've actually done a lot, bro. I mean, obviously it's still spaced out, but I did this installation. That was insane. I guess I do a lot of events low-key. Like, I think my whole life is just about connecting with people. And so my installation is that. Like, it was pretty much an experience in Brooklyn. These people, Justin Crawford and Erica Roseman is her name. Thank them both because they gave me a venue for free, pretty much. Okay. Pretty much like last year, was it? I wanted to have a blacklight jungle. No, not last year, but 2 years ago. I wanted to have a blacklight jungle party. Okay? Birthday. Like a blacklight jungle birthday party. Okay. All right? That was it. So at this point, I'm like, all right, bet. So then I started reaching out to like all these people and these venues to start, and it was just too expensive. So I was like, all right, never mind. I was like, I'll come back when I can afford this. And then one of them was like, you know what? We'll hold you down. And I was like, wow. It ended up being like so expensive.
And I did not think you were going to say that. Expensive. And it was free. Because I felt like it should be, you know? And did it turn out the way you expected it, though?
It was beautiful. Yo. The party, it was beautiful. It was honestly, it became a sanctuary, you know? So I think also in the past, since we last spoke, I just spent a lot of time researching, you know, like getting to know myself. So experimenting with music, experimenting with short films, doing photo shoots. Also like exploring the city, you know, like dropping music here and there, getting into my relationships. I think in the meantime, also having a lot of ideas. I think now it's time for me to execute all the ideas I came up with in that time. Like I did a few things, you know, but a lot of it was honestly just being in the cocoon, like coming up with ideas now, vocal lessons, like this, that, you know, practicing music. And now I'm like, okay, actually I'm ready.
I'm so happy to hear you say that you're like working on your relationships and stuff. Cause I know last time, like you were speaking on like having serious trust issues or like really being to yourself, because you say you still do. I mean, no, listen, I'm listening. And I know you were saying like you were having trouble like getting out of your shell because you can't trust anyone. So you kind of tend to stay to yourself. You have that problem still?
That's so interesting that I said that, because now that's definitely not the case.
I'm loving to hear that.
Yeah, isn't that so cool? Wow.
That's great.
Honestly, I could definitely see myself saying that at that time. I think also I had a romantic relationship that was like super intense. And that's why I say like still. Like I was still working through all of that shit, you know? But I think back then I was less aware of it. Good thing you got me today, because if you got me like 3 months ago, I probably still would have been, you know, like, right? You know what I mean? It's like that, you know?
Isn't it hard to like pull yourself from, because that relationship, that was like a while, right? It lasted a while. Do you find it hard to pull yourself out of a relationship where you've been with a partner for like multiple years and like at some point that's all people know?
Yeah. I feel like I'm actually, so it's funny because after that happened, is it that summer or the next one? But maybe a year later, I kind of like, me and him, we had like our last go, you know, around on the merry-go-round. And then, it's such a complicated, you know, life just gets more complex.
Exactly. As we get older.
It just gets more entangled.
I love the word.
Entanglement!
I love the word.
I don't want to talk about it. But no, honestly, then I got another relationship. And, you know, I fell in love with him. And that's why I say still, because they came out in him or with him. Those same, like,
patterns that you noticed in the first. Yeah.
Patterns.
So you find yourself like, because I already been through that, blah, blah.
But it's like, at this point, see, for me, I'm not the type of person who thinks, like, I'm really attached. I get very attached to any person, like, I've ever known. That's why we're here, you know?
I gotta ask.
I will tell you. No, I'll tell you after I finish this. But that's even why I'm here, because I'm like, yeah, I will come back, because, yeah.
We've been here.
Yeah.
I appreciate
you know what
you,
I mean?
though.
It's like, yeah. So I never really let go of people, you know? And so even with the first relationship, we still talk. We're still friends. The new one, obviously, is, like, fresh and different.
But you're smiling, though, so that's good. You're smiling.
Like, I hate the, you know, the vulnerability.
What an entanglement.
It's just the vulnerability. But my sign, okay, so there's tropical astrology and sidereal astrology, just to preface.
Okay.
Yes.
Put me on.
Because, like, I feel like, because I learned it, and now I identify, so now I have to, like, tell you first. So tropical, so let me explain to you what they are first, and then, like, I'll tell you. So tropical is the one that everyone knows, you know? It's like, Capricorn is December this to January that. Right. Aquarius is January this to February that. Pisces is February this to March that. So sidereal astrology pretty much just says that. And honestly, that's why sometimes I do fuck with astrology, but also think it's obsolete sometimes. Because it's just like, all right, whatever. But still, it's like sidereal tells you that pretty much that calendar / those calculations that we're going by, they're average, you know? And we have fixed dates. So we're like, every year, Capricorn is this, Aquarius is that. And that's what they say is that's not the case. Like, actually, the stars, like, it's always moving, you know? So it might be that this year and that this year.
I heard of that.
So, like, it's not fixed, essentially. So it's always, like, being calculated. And it's, you know, so So tropically, I could tell you like my first 5. So, and you'll know it when I say it. Okay, so tropically, Scorpio Sun and Venus, 9th house. Virgo, Mars and Moon, 7th house. And Aquarius rising. And sidereally, I would be Libra, Sun and Venus, 9th house. Leo, Moon and Mars, 7th house. Rising Capricorn.
I have to learn about the 7th house and nice house house thing. Yeah, I've definitely heard of those terms before. You get like tarot readings?
I mean, I pull cards myself sometimes.
You do?
Sometimes. But it's like something I keep to
Love
myself.
The energy. Love the energy. It's relaxing. It's good to know about yourself, you know, like knowing about your own energy and things like that. I like to watch my tarot readings sometime on YouTube. Shout out to Wisdom and Light. Hey. But yeah, so I'm not familiar. I'm a little familiar actually with like the 9th house and things like that, but I'm not really like sure like exactly how they apply to us. So can you like enlighten me?
Okay, so yes, thank you. Yeah. All right. So the way that astrology works, there's a lot that goes into it, but the basics of it, and then I'll tell you about tarot because they are all connected and they also come from like ancient, it's very ancient. If you even look at the original tarot cards, Rider Waite, that's like the original cards that you see: Empress, High Priestess, the Fool, Death, the Devil, the Lovers. They have Torahs, like they have like Judaic, Kabbalah, Kabbalist, I'd say, writings on them. You know, they all relate back to like these ancient, and then that would relate to like Near East, like Eastern mythology, you know, like that all connects. So when it comes to astrology, it goes, you have the planets, the signs, and the houses. So the planets are, and let me tell you, it's connected on the level of, do you know the days go by the planets? We don't know it we kind of know it, honestly, in English, because English is like half Latin, half Dutch of a language. But like if you think of Latin or like think of French, it would be, why am I blanking? Mardi. So that's Tuesday. So Mars, Dia, you know, day of Mars. Mercury, day of Mercury.
Lundi,
exactly. Day of Luna, the moon. In Lunes, Martes, Miércoles, Jeudi is Jupiter. Vendredi is Venus. Samedi is Saturn, I guess. And Dimanche, I think, is the sun. So those are the planets. In the solar system, you know, the solar system. And from there, which also relates to the gods. I say gods because not God, but the gods like Apollo / Jupiter, you know, Zeus / which one does Zeus relate to? Venus is Aphrodite, you know, so the planets, it's like Venus is the planet of love. Mercury is Achilles, Hermes. So that's the planet of thought, intelligence, communication, technology.
You said Mercury? I think Gemini is ruled in Mercury, if I'm correct.
Gemini and Virgo.
Okay.
And so Jupiter is a planet of expansion, intelligence, abundance, the philosopher, but also the fool. Saturn's the planet of like, it's like the father. It's like rules, times, it's strict, it's work, business, discipline. The moon is the mother, that's maternal. It's like your emotions, your inner self, your subconscious, how your mother raised you. The sun is also your father. And that's just like your personality. They're kind of a blend, but it's like your personality, the way you appear. Like the sun, the moon, the rising, kind of like, that's why sometimes I say to myself that I feel like I have so many spirits inside of me, because it's like you have different people talking. Like, if that makes sense, you have Scorpio talking, and then, you know, and then Gemini talking over here, and someone else controlling that, you know what I mean? And
I literally have twins, like.
Right, Leo's on this, right, so the houses pretty much are where you experience that. So all of those planets, so every planet, sign, and house, they're like natal, they relate to each other. So the first planet is Aries. The first sign is Aries, which relates to the planet Mars, which relates to the first house, which is the head. The second sign is Taurus, Venus, relates to pleasure, the body, food, sensuality, home, a little bit.
Is Aries in Venus?
Aries is Mars.
Okay.
Yeah. The third sign is Gemini.
I'm shocked that you know all this by heart.
I'm like an encyclopedia, so please take all my knowledge because I have so much of it. Like at this point, like I'm telling you, like I've collected so much knowledge.
How did you memorize this stuff?
I don't know. I definitely have a photographic memory to a certain degree. So here, I'll give it to you. So, what was I gonna say? Third sign is Gemini, Mercury. That's thought. Gemini is big on communication, friendship. It's like split personality a little bit, but like fun, you know, intelligence though.
Absolutely.
Like the communicator. And that relates to the third house. So that's your house. So,
Selah, I'm shocked. I have to
refresh on
your
that.
fingers.
I have to refresh because they all relate to a part of the body as well.
Oh.
So Aries is the head. Taurus will probably be the throat. For example, like Scorpio is the genitals. Sagittarius is the legs. Pisces is the feet. I have to refresh though. I think Leo's the heart. They actually relate to organs. Like I think Libra is the adrenals. Something like that. Anyway, the houses, you know. So houses are pretty much like my moon is in, let's say it's in Virgo, 7th house. So that means that I'm experiencing this Virgo energy. So I experience these emotions like a Virgo in the house of relationships. So within this place, that's where I experience those feelings the most, like with relationships, because the 7th house relates to Libra, and Libra has to do with partnerships, and it's also ruled by Venus. But it's like the lighter version of Taurus. It's to do with beauty, pleasure, harmony, justice, balance, peace. Yeah.
Wow.
Relationships.
When you I was going to ask you, is this something that you speak with, like with partners or your friends? Like, is this something that's in your everyday hobby? Like,
yeah, me and my friends, but it's not like I talk about it. It's not something we always talk about. It's just like,
me and my friends talk about it pretty often. Like when we do things, it'd be like, that's that Capricorn.
right?
Like, you know
what I mean? I see the Scorpio. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, like here go that Leo energy, girl. Get out of here. We always call each other out on it. Do you do that in your?
No, yeah, because one of my closest friends is Scorpio, so it's like, I'm just like, LOL. I see this. I'm like, I hear you, like, and that's actually probably that's why we get along so well, you know, because like that's my that's my sister. So it's like, I'm
so happy to hear you say all this as well.
I know, because I know.
Boy, it was just not.
Isn't
that
so crazy?
Happy. How's 22 treating you? Well, are you 22 yet?
22 in November.
Okay.
Yeah,
oh,
21.
No, I was older than
21.
You.
What's 9 plus 10?
You said what's 9 plus? Oh, right, 21. But yeah, how's 21 treating you? You're legal now.
Ooh, 21. I mean, 21's been up and down. 21's still crazy to this day. I am legal, so now no one can say anything, especially my family. I think also the older I get, the more freedom I get, the more respect I get from my family as well. And that's a thing, because it's like, you like break certain fears. And so it kind of liberates you as a person, you know, like growing up, my mom was like super sober. So that was a thing. So she was super sober. My dad smoked weed, but like he was also strict, you know. Like, so everything was like secretive. And so now it's just like, sorry. Now it's just like, cool. But I was like still like sneaking stuff, like being a little provocative before, you know, but like.
How was that? How, like, is that hard? Like, because technically, you know, you can definitely be classified as a celebrity child. So, like, is that hard to have a private life?
Oh, yeah, that's why I'm so transparent. That's probably why, you know?
Might as well.
Because I stopped I was like, whatever, fuck it then. Right, because, you know what? That's actually probably why I'm so transparent. Because when you can't hide, you just like, fuck it, like, whatever, you know? And also, I'm just a transparent person in general, because I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it's better sometimes. But obviously, I'm not transparent about everything. Yeah. So there's that too. Like, there's still things that I'm working on.
That are sacred to you, as they... And you have that right as a human.
Yeah.
As a human.
And yeah, there's that too. Like, you know. But overall, just... Okay. Overall, just like being transparent, I guess. And like also, yeah, being transparent, also being still in the neighborhood that my mom grew up in. So it's like not as, it's not like I live in LA.
Shout out to Jersey.
Yeah, shout out, man. It's not like I live in LA, you know, like it's like I have paparazzi following me every day. So I still have more of a normal life.
Right.
So,
which is great.
Still more, it's not as like inflated.
Now, today, before you walked in, I was talking about a Love and Hip Hop star named Tommy, who is going through a social media dispute with her own daughter. Her daughter is outing their personal business. Apparently, she's pregnant at 15, and her mom tried to trick her into an abortion. And
wait, hold on. Let me ask you a question. Tommy, the Ian Connor one? Okay.
Not that one. Tommy from Love and Hip Hop. Wait. Actually, she did date Ian Connor. She sure did. Yes, that's Tommy.
Okay.
So they're in a dispute publicly on Instagram, and I just want to know, as a celebrity child, what stopped you, or had you ever stopped yourself? Have you ever had to stop yourself from outing like family business on the internet?
I mean, I say my family's on the internet, but also my parents aren't on the internet like that. So
it would be like no need to do that, right?
And also, you know what it is too? I mean, I don't know. I was not 15. There's different things you talk about, you know?
Yeah.
I think I wait to talk about certain things. Respect, I guess. Respect, not respect. I'm not about to talk about stuff. But I'll still say certain shit because your parents are celebrity. Like, there's things people already know, you know? But I also just don't always care to talk about my parents either because I get asked about them enough. So there's that too. So not anything to change the subject. There's that too. Like, I'm like, please stop.
Something else.
I live with them. Like, thank you. I know.
You do? At the moment?
Well, no.
Oh, okay.
But like, you know what I mean?
Congratulations then, Selah.
Yeah.
That's dope.
That too.
That's
I've had
dope.
4 apartments since we last.
Are you serious?
3.
Were they like in Jersey? Did you get to
First one was in Edgewater. Second one, 4. First one was in Edgewater. Second one was in Lower East Side, New York. Third one was in Lower East Side, New York as well, but that lasted like 2-3 months. I'm still trying to get out of that lease right now, actually. And I just moved to my 4th one this March, actually. So that was the beginning of quarantine.
Congratulations.
And I just got my couch.
You just got your couch?
I just got my couch. Yeah, I mean, I had a couch before, but, you know, like, I'd carried that couch with me through 3 apartments at this point. So I was like, I got so much energy. You know what I mean? I was like, I need to, like, put this away. So I just am, like, literally, I've been sitting with a fucking bed and the floor. And, like, little things I collect, you know, books and plants and stuff. But when it comes to major furniture, because also quarantine, and also I left my modeling agency last summer, my original modeling agency. So I, like, stopped making as much money. And the installation, I was still paying that. I'm still paying that back. I'm on the last leg of it, thank God. But, like, the shit was such a fucking human sacrifice to some degree. I don't know. But it was beautiful. But it was just, like, wow. You know, like, I expected... I don't know. Maybe it'll pay back in the long run, you know.
Absolutely.
We'll see. I gotta still make the reel for it. So I'm kind of I've been procrastinating on that too. And also so there's also dealing with the mental health and just staying on my shit. Because that's really all it's really about, you know, just pushing yourself and getting strong mentally.
Absolutely. Can you tell us a little bit about Libertude and what you're doing with, I don't want to say it wrongly, Friendly Fridges?
Yeah.
That's what it is? Yeah.
Facts. So Libertude is pretty much me and my friends. Like, it's me and we're still expanding, you know, anyone's welcome to join. We're kind of trying to keep it solid right now just to get solid. But it's pretty much just, me and my friends, you know. I kind of brought friends together, honestly. And all people who, like, I resonate with heavily on the subject of Blackness and what that means, like, to every sense of the word, you know. So... whether that's about racism or capitalism or whatever, you know, literally whatever, like everything about it. So, yeah, people I agree with, we agree. And so we want to just help, you know. At the end of the day, I think the thing is with Libertude is it's more of a long-term goal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's more of, I think for me, the protests were happening, George Floyd, and this was the second time I'd seen such a huge wave of protests since Ferguson, especially after the Target thing, like in Texas. Was it Texas? In Texas, or was it Missouri? I don't know, but whatever.
Missouri.
Mm-hmm. But after the Target thing, I was like, and then it started happening in New York, and I live in New York, so I was like, yeah, I'm going. And this was at a time, ironically, where just prior to that, yo, that's so funny. You know, just prior to that, to this happening, I like had these notes. It was just, I was studying pretty much like essentially Black capitalism. Like what it is, what's hindering us, right? As a collective, how we're being hindered, and what that means today, what that looks like. So that kind of relates really to like consumerism, a lot of it. It's consumerism, economics and capitalism. The idea of hierarchy, wealth. It's wealth though. It's just wealth, you know, lack of access to resources. And so I went on this whole like idea journey as well, because I wanted to start like, first of all, also I was like, and then also it was because I didn't have money either. And so I was like, my parents were helping me, you know, a little bit, but I didn't have money and I live by myself. So, and I live by myself. So that was not good. Oh, okay. Yeah, that was not good. So what was I going to say? I'm sorry. Yeah, so I was like, what can I do? Like, what's an essential business, you know,
right,
to get into? So, like, you know, some people get into real estate, some people get into stocks, some people get into whatever. I was like, I want to get into food. And then I started, like, thinking about, like, or I think, yeah, I wanted to get into food, you know? And then from there, I was like, wait, everything, like, we spend our money on, we don't own those companies,
right,
you know? We don't own Target, we don't own Gap, we don't own, unless you have, like, a share in it. So I guess stocks is smart. So I guess what I'm saying with Libertude is that it's just the expansion of all of that, you know? It's just, it's really spreading that knowledge.
right,
And getting us to a place where we're self-sufficient. So, because here's the thing, we already have welfare, you know?
right.
We already have those things. So it's like, what's the next step? And so I kind of feel like the protests sparked a fire, or like continued the fire. And then with that, I like had the idea. I was like, you know what? Great. These protests are great, but I'm not about to let this just be a trend. So let me use this to like segue. So let's create Libertude. Actually, the original name, first of all, we didn't even have a name. We wanted to do a docuseries. The name came so late. But first it was a docuseries. First we were just going to protests. It was, first of all, let me say their names, because it's not just me. It's me, so Selah Marley, Taylor Brianna, Michael Martin, Abdul Hill, Fournier Calixte, Kevin Stevens, annoying, but he's in it. Dominic. Yo, but it's my friends, you know? So it's like...
Shout out to Selah's crew.
Gang. It's so annoying, because it's like... It's just everyone. It's everyone I know.
Right.
It's more a movement than it is like...
But I love that you're starting impactful things behind your name. That's definitely dope. You know what I'm saying? I think that you're a very dope individual, Selah. I really do. I'm sad. We got to wrap it up. I'm so sad.
This is good. We got stuff in.
Right? You know what I'm saying? You guys stay tuned for Deeper Than Comedy up next. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at MiraB. As always, it's the #1 place where Jersey supports Jersey. Selah, you got anything to say?
Thank you guys for listening. And I guess follow me on Instagram, Selah, literally. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, love N. Oh, tap N, right? Love N expansion. And also follow Libertude. Please follow Land of Libertude. We're raising money to start this cause called Friendly Fridges. You can look it up. First, I'll look it up online and also see more about it on Libertude. We have a GoFundMe. Please donate. Please.
Yes, don't forget to check it out. And as always, I wouldn't be MiraB without giving you guys the Jersey Spotlight Artist of the Day. So let's go ahead and give a shout out to Nelly G for his song Keep Going. As always, you're tuned in with your girl, MiraB.
Every day